Have you ever wondered if the place where your rosary rests at night can influence your soul during sleep? Often, after prayer, the rosary is left anywhere on the table, thrown in a drawer, or simply forgotten. But according to Saint Teresa of Avila, this simple gesture can have a profound impact on our spiritual life. Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night with that strange feeling of restlessness without knowing exactly why? Or have you felt as if something invisible was disturbing your rest? What many people don't know is that there's an ancient secret that can completely transform their nights. The doctor of the Church, Saint Teresa of Avila, who experienced divine ecstasies and intimate conversations with Christ, understood something we've forgotten. Even the place where we keep our rosary can powerfully influence our spiritual rest. There's one exact place she recommended, and this simple gesture can transform your nighttime experience in ways you can't even imagine. Every night, millions of people leave their rosaries somewhere after praying on a nightstand, in a drawer, hanging from a piece of furniture. But the Carmelite reformer knew this wasn't enough. She understood that nighttime isn't spiritually neutral. While your body rests, the spiritual world intensifies. And the place where you rest your rosary can make all the difference. In the next few minutes, I'll reveal exactly what she taught about this. I'll show you the exact place where she advised keeping the rosary every night, and why this gesture can bring you a peace you may not have experienced in years if you want to discover the secret she shared with her Carmelite sisters. If you want to experience true protection in your nights, write in the comments, "Mary, guard my rest." What I'm about to share isn't common information. It's authentic mystical wisdom that can change your life. Starting tonight, I promise you 3 revelations. First, you'll understand why I considered the place where we keep our rosary at night so important. Second, you'll discover the exact place I revealed and its profound spiritual significance. And third, you'll learn the complete method for beginning this sacred custom today. Stay until the end, because this teaching could be exactly what your soul has been searching for, to find true peace in your nights, to understand why the mystic from Avila placed such importance on the location of our rosary. You need to know something she experienced firsthand. Nighttime is the time when spiritual activity reaches its peak. In his autobiography, he recounts extraordinary nocturnal experiences, inexplicable noises, sensations of terror without apparent cause, and what he described as unwanted visits from the enemy. But he never gave in. His secret had developed an infallible nocturnal spiritual strategy. Even sleep can be a prayer if it is offered to the Lord with love. She taught for her every moment of our existence, even rest, can keep us united to God. But she also knew that without adequate protection, our sleep can be disturbed by influences we don't even perceive. At the convent of St. Joseph, which she founded, she developed what we might call a liturgy of rest. He taught that the soul doesn't shut down when the body sleeps, but rather enters a different state of consciousness where it can be more vulnerable or more protected. Imagine what happens in the invisible world. While you sleep, your soul remains active. Angels and demons know no tiredness, and even if you don't consciously perceive it, there is a constant battle for your soul, especially during those vulnerable hours. The Carmelite sisters documented fascinating experiences. One wrote, "During a night of great spiritual turmoil, I followed our mother's advice and experienced a peace that enveloped me like a maternal embrace. Another sister recounted, after adopting this practice, the nightmares that had tormented me for months completely ceased. It was as if she had placed an invisible barrier between my soul and everything that had previously troubled me. A lay devote of the time wrote, "Not only did my nights improve, but my days were filled with the spiritual clarity never before experienced. The nightly protection extended to all. Ours, for the Saint of Avila, the Rosary was not simply an object of devotion that we..." Specific conclusion about where to place our Rosary at night, St. Teresa advised. Placing the Rosary under the pillow. So specific and so revolutionary. But before you think it's superstitious, let me explain the spiritual significance that will transform your understanding of this practice. Why exactly under the pillow? The mystic from Avila understood something that saints have known for centuries. Physical proximity to sacred objects creates real spiritual connections. This isn't magic, but rather how sacramentals work in the invisible world. The pillow supports your head where your thoughts, dreams, and mind reside. By placing the Rosary right there, you create a spiritual ward over your mind and heart while you sleep. It's like declaring, "Virgin Mary, while my body rests, may my soul rest under your protective mantle. When the body rests, may the soul continue to watch," she taught her Carmelite daughters. She understood this vigil. Warmth enveloped me, and when I told her about it, she replied, "My daughter, it is the Virgin who watches over your rest." A nun who had suffered from nightmares since childhood testified, "My nights became a time of profound peace, and my dreams, when I have them, are full of light. It's as if I had placed an invisible barrier between my soul and everything that disturbed me." How does this work in the invisible world? The Saint of Avila explained it clearly. In the spiritual realm, conscious symbols and gestures possess real power. When you place your Rosary under your pillow, with authentic faith, you are using a language that angels and demons understand perfectly. For the angels, it is an invitation to guard your rest. For demons, this is a clear sign of Mary and protection. Demons fear a soul truly devoted to Mary more than an entire army of warriors. He taught that people who adopt this practice consistently experience immediate peace upon falling asleep, with nighttime restlessness gradually disappearing. They also experience the elimination of nightmares as disturbing dreams vanish, not waking. Up serene, mornings begin with a peaceful heart. They experience greater remembrance of God. During the day, they think more naturally about the divine. They feel protection that extends. The sense of guardianship encompasses every hour. They experience a strengthening of faith. Their trust in Mary grows exponentially, and they see transformation in their homes. The entire house is filled with a more sacred atmosphere. The mysticism of Avila insisted on a complete nocturnal liturgy. First examination of conscience. Review your day honestly, and if you find fault, sincerely ask God for forgiveness. Second prayer of surrender. Lord, into your hands I commend my sleep. Under the mantle of Mary I place my soul. Third moment, reverent placement. Don't throw away the Rosary. Place it with love, kissing it and saying, "My mother, guard my rest." Fourth moment, first thought upon awakening. Thank you, Lord, for this night of peace. Thank you, Mary, for your protection. Whenever possible, the Carmelite reformer recommended sprinkling the room with holy water Before sleeping, directing a brief, loving glance toward a sacred image, and praying in aspiration before closing the eyes. Demons flee from holy water like snakes from fire. He used to say, this may seem like a lot, but he always insisted, prayer isn't about thinking a lot, but about loving a lot. What's important isn't the quantity of prayer, but the quality of the love with which it's done. A mother recently wrote, "At first I thought it was something very simple, but after a month I realized my nights had completely transformed. My youngest daughter asked me, 'Mummy, why do you sleep with a smile now?' A man who suffered from chronic insomnia testified, 'For the first time in years, I sleep soundly, but more than that, I wake up wanting to pray as if my soul had been conversing with God all night. These fruits are not empty promises. They are the documented experience of centuries of devotees who trusted in the wisdom of one of history's greatest mystics. Are you ready to experience them in your own life? The time for action has come. You will learn the exact method to implement this sacred practice and starting tonight experience the protection that the doctor of the church promised. First of all, make sure you're in a state of grace. The Carmelite reformer always insisted to have practices are more powerful when the soul is clean. If you haven't confessed in a while, this is the perfect time. A soul in grace is like a well-prepared garden where any seed of devotion flourishes. She taught, if possible, dedicate a rosary specifically for this nightly practice. It doesn't need to be expensive, but it should be treated with special reverence. Some people choose to bless it, especially for this purpose. If you only have one, that's fine. The crucial thing is the intention of the heart. Each night follow this sequence that the saint perfected. Step 1, 3-nut examination. Ask yourself, how was my day in God's eyes? Is there anything I need to repent of? If you find faults, sincerely ask for forgiveness. Step 2, devout rosary. Pray it with true devotion, not mechanically. Think of the mysteries. Speak to Mary as if you were your mother. Step 3, consecration of rest. When you finish, kiss your rosary and say, "My mother, under your mantle I place my rest." Don't simply throw the rosary under your pillow. Do it with total reverence. Gently lift the pillow. Place the rosary with conscious love and say the prayer that the mystic taught. Most holy Mother, may my rest be yours. May my sleep be guarded by your love. And may the will of your Son be fulfilled in my night. When you open your eyes in the morning before getting up, touch your rosary under your pillow. Say a Hail Mary of gratitude and offer your day as it begins. If you share a bed, explain this practice to your partner. Many couples have adopted it together, experiencing greater peace in their homes. If you travel frequently, always carry your night rosary. Mary's protection knows no geographical boundaries. If you live with people who wouldn't understand, do so discreetly. The important thing is not that others see it, but your sincere faith. If you have young children, teach them an adapted version, helping them place their rosary under their pillow after a simple prayer. After a few nights, you'll notice it becomes easier to fall asleep. You'll wake up more serene and, within a peace, a noticeable decrease in nightmares, more peaceful dreams, or those with spiritual content, and a feeling of protection that extends into the day. If you forget, put a note next to your bed until you make a habit of it. If you feel like nothing is happening, spiritual fruit sometimes take time to manifest. Perseverance is key. If someone mocks you, remember the saint's words. Don't be afraid to do what pleases God, even if it displeases the world. You can start tonight. You don't need the perfect rosary or the perfect moment. The mystic from Avila always said the best time to begin loving God is now. Are you going to commit tonight? Write in the comments. Tonight I sleep under the mantle of Mary, so we know you're part of the spiritual family. We've reached the end of this video, but you're actually at the beginning of something extraordinary for your spiritual life. What you have just discovered transcends common information. It is a spiritual treasure that the Doctor of the Church, in her infinite wisdom, bequeathed to us as an eternal heritage. Let me tell you something that moves me deeply. A woman wrote to us recently after adopting this practice. Her young daughter asked her one morning, "Mommy, why do you sleep with a smile now?" She hadn't realized it, but she was indeed experiencing a nocturnal peace that was reflected even on her face while she slept. That is exactly what the mystic from Avila wished for every soul, that our nights be a foretaste of eternal rest, a time of peace under the mantle of Mary, moments where even our sleep would become silent prayer. Imagine the life of this extraordinary woman. She experienced divine ecstasies, heavenly visions, intimate conversations with Jesus, and yet she never forgot the small things that transform a life. This advice about the night rosary is living proof. The deepest secrets of God's kingdom are hidden in simplicity. Today, I ask you to make 3 decisions that will change your life. First, don't let another night go by without trying this practice. The Carmelite reformer always taught that the best time to love God is now, not tomorrow. Second, share this video with someone who needs peace in their nights. Perhaps you know someone who suffers from insomnia, nightmares, or is simply seeking to deepen their spiritual life. This gift from the saint can also transform their life. Third, join our spiritual family by writing in the comments the name of the person for whom you will offer your rosary tonight. Let us create a living chain of prayer that is unbroken, not even while we sleep. If this message touched your heart, please give it a like so YouTube can share it with more souls who need these spiritual treasures. Subscribe to the channel and activate notifications so you don't miss more transformative teachings from the saints. Always remember, a loving soul never fully sleeps. It always watches in. God, when you place your rosary under your pillow tonight, it won't just be a pious gesture. It will be a declaration of love, an affirmation of faith, an act of complete trust in Mary's maternal protection. This very night can be different. This very night can begin a new stage in your relationship with God and the Virgin Mary. The secret is in your hands, or rather under your pillow. May the mysticism of Avila intercede for you. May Mary guard your rest, and may each night be a step closer to holiness. As our saint taught, let nothing trouble you, let nothing frighten you. Everything passes. God never changes. Patience achieves all things. He who has, God lacks nothing. Only God is enough. May you have peaceful nights under the mantle of Mary Magdalene.